I'll go ahead and start on my end. Cool.
Hello.
Okay, we'll go ahead and start on my end. First question will go to Law.
Hey, Jeremy, you talked about all week guys getting, used to each other, and then, right after you play yesterday, you have this trade that kind of shakes things up. So in your role, like how you kind of break it down to those guys like that this is the business as far as Daniel getting traded and having to kind of go with a different lineup for the first time this whole event in Summer League?
I mean, we kind of did. We really addressed it at the end more than at the beginning, but just letting them understand, like things can happen, and that's why everybody has to, kind of make sure you're doing your job, and it's just a part of the business, and just come out and be ready to play, and that's just what it comes down to. I don't know too much of the specifics on why and things happen and things like that, but at the end of the day, just letting guys know, like, come ready to play every night, do your job. And as long as you do that, then you can hang your hat on it. If you've done your job and you completed to the best of the ability and put everything out there and you can sleep at night, then you can live with the results.
What's your biggest takeaway from these 5 games after, seeing these guys for more than a week?
My biggest takeaway, that's a good question. My biggest takeaway from these 5 guys is that, one, a lot of this stuff has to do with just continuity and everybody just being in line with each other and the more comfortable they got with each other, the better they play. From game 1 to game 5, I think a lot of it had to do with that, because now it becomes easier to talk and communicate and say, hey, I need you here, or I expect you here, or this is what you're supposed to do. And it's always better when you have a team that's able to police themselves and not always so worried about the coaches always being the ones to police them. When you got a team out there of 15 guys that really can get on each other and say, hey, you did this wrong, and they can accept responsibility for that, you're going to have a really, really good team, in my opinion.
Okay, we'll move over to Justin Russo.
Hey, Coach. Now that Summer League's all wrapped up, I was kind of curious. You talked about, what your big takeaway was with the team, but what was your biggest takeaway and what you learned the most about yourself in this experience?
Really, just one thing I learned is that all the plays in the world aren't going to get you a win. You got to get the guys out there to go out there. They got to compete hard. And if they're doing that and they're competing hard and they're communicating and they're following the game plan, just from simple stuff, whether it's being in shrinks on defense, knowing who's under, knowing who's closing out, if we get these guys all on the same page on that end and to go out there and compete, then we could be successful. And that timeouts happen faster than they look on TV.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
We have one more from Andrew.
Hey, Jeremy. We kind of talked about this a little bit the other day, but just in terms of what these guys are going to have to do in only a matter of weeks to really earn minutes in a rotation, were there things you saw from the 3 rookies especially that you feel like gave you hope that these guys could have a legitimate chance? Like, one skill or something like that you feel like gives these guys a chance to have some sort of role in my upcoming season?
I mean, for all our rookies, they're gonna have to play defense. We got a lot of guys in place. We got a lot of pieces in place. So if they want to see time on the floor, it's gonna come on the defensive end, and that's bullying through pick and rolls, bullying through DHOs, being a presence, knowing where your weak side is, being at the nail on time, being in your weak side spots on time. So that's what I'll kind of let them know. This was a lot of fun, and a lot of these guys got to shoot shots that they probably wouldn't shoot with our big team. So it's like understanding where they got to hang their hat on, and that's got to be on defense, and that's got to be being in the right spots at the right time, because as a rookie, your leash is a lot shorter than other people. So just letting them know that and letting them understand it, and it's real. And the leash was a little shorter, the leash was a lot longer with me. Up there, it's going to be a lot shorter. You know what I mean? One mistake gets you pulled out, and one mistake might not get you pulled out just for a game. You might miss the whole week till someone trusts you again. So just kind of letting them understand that, but really just the importance of defense. Defense is going to be important for all those guys.
I think our last one will go to Miriam.
Hey, Jeremy. I just, you sort of mentioned it, but as a coach, what was it like to be coaching a guy in Daniel one day and then obviously having to be on another team the next day? Was that an experience for you?
I mean, this is my first time doing it as a head coach, but I've been an assistant coach for the last 7 years or something like that. So, I mean, I've dealt with it before. It's nothing new. You just, love the guys while you have them and let them know that regardless of basketball wise, you know, I've made relationships. I have a relationship with Daniel that goes beyond basketball. If he needs something from me, he knows he can contact me at any time. And that goes for anybody that gets traded. From Lou Will to Pat Beverly, like these are guys I've only known for 2 years, but I got relationships with them for the rest of my life. So it's always bigger than basketball with the guys. It's about creating a real friendship and a real relationship with them and being able to talk to them about other things just besides basketball. So with that being, I mean, like I said, I've been doing this for 7 years, so it wasn't anything new for me. I wish Daniel the best, and I'll speak to him again. It's not like he's gone. We'll talk multiple times between now and whenever. Next time I see him in Memphis, maybe take him to dinner.
I know. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Andrew had a follow-up and then we're done. I'm sorry, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Well, you're a good interviewer. Extra questions?
I was just wanting to ask you one last follow-up about Amir. I mean, obviously it's an uncertain time for him with, you know, where he's going to end up next season. I know it can be probably pretty hard for a guy, but like, what do you see from his level of focus and his competitiveness this week, even though, you know, there's some uncertainty there?
I thought he was locked in and very competitive the whole time, especially for a guy who early on who didn't have his shots going his way. I think if you look at what he did on the defensive end, sometimes that can get overlooked due to missed shots. But he competed on the defensive end. He tried to blow things up. I think we really saw that in the last game. So he has a lot to hang his hat on. And you can't always just look at shots made and points scored and say, hey, he's had a bad summer or a good summer. Like, what did he do? What else did he do? And I thought he led the team. That's something that we asked him to do, to be more vocal. He was that. He was really good on defense, chasing, blowing picks up. He was really good at being in his weak side spots and being strong. So I wouldn't say, like, a lot of people would probably suggest that maybe he didn't have as strong a summer as he wanted due to what took place on the offensive end. But if you go look at the film and look at what he was capable of doing on the defensive end, I think it would tell another story.
Congrats on getting out of Vegas, Jeremy.
Hey, y'all have a good night. Thank you.
I appreciate you, Jeremy.